jump in and welcome everybody from both my tribes today. I'm really excited to share the part 2 of the networking series on the air pitch. So we really started last week and talked about the basic fundamentals of the air pitch. So I want to dive back in today. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through a few scenarios. So I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. I wanted to break it into 2 parts just so you could have some time with it and really think about it. That's the only reason. So it could have been done in 1 hour, but I wanted you to have some time to think about it. I got a lot of great DMs this week, or last week, I should say, from folks wanting to talk about their pitch and start getting it ready for the holiday season. Interestingly enough, nobody wanted to share on screen their pitch. So that's okay. I know it's tough and we're all, I think everybody knows me, but we're still getting to know each other. And so a few people sent me their pitches and we're going to walk through them today anonymously. And I've got a few that I've worked with some clients on, and some of them are here in the stream today. So if you see yours, I thank you for letting me use it. So we're going to just kind of dive into part 2, look at some pitches, and we're going to also look at some ways to use your pitch other than a networking event. So let me get ready here to share my screen. So here are the concepts of the air pitch. So every air pitch has to be authentic, where you talk about you, just you. You do not talk about the title that your job has given you. You do not talk about the tasks that you perform at work. You talk about just yourself and your superpower, the things that you do that brings value. Okay, that's authenticity. And it makes for this deep connection that is more about you than it is about your title. And it's more about you than it is about the company that you work for. The second is pain relief. Every good advertising class that you will ever take tells you that a good product or a good pitch has one of 2 things. It either relieves pain or it produces pleasure. And so when it comes to the corporate lens, we relieve pain. We are always providing a solution to a problem. So pain relief is your chance to invite the listener into the journey with you. And it makes you a hero, the hero that they have been longing and waiting to meet. And the third concept is about emotion. And so emotion hits the heart, where it weaves into your personal narrative, and it weaves into this narrative that's about your story that is memorable, and it leaves the listener not only with a choice, but also with a desire to learn more about you. So here are the principles to the pitch. Right? The first is, what problem do you solve? Before you walk into any networking event, you have to know the problem that you solve. You have to know, this is who I am and this is what I do. This is what I'm put on earth to do. Once you know the problem that you solve, and again, your problem is not about the tasks that you perform or the activities that you perform. It's about the tangible or intangible benefits that people get when they work with you. The second is the results. Once you know the problem that you solve, rather than focusing on the process or the tasks, you focus on the results, the end results. These end results are the elements that create your selling proposition, the thing that makes you unique. The third principle is, you're going to make a bold request. The most integral part of your pitch is the bold request. It is a well-crafted, bold request. It's a question that, and it's not a command, it's a real gentle suggestion in the form of a question. And it's a cordial invitation to engage with you further. And the fourth step leaves the listener with a choice. Now, once you've extended that bold request, it's an invitation to your listener, leaving them with a choice to further engage. It's not about pushing yourself on somebody or pushing your own agenda. It's about igniting curiosity. And in the midst of you sharing your results, automatically you tell the listener what's in it for them. They immediately start to see how they can work with you or who they know can work with you. Okay? So here are the rules that we talked about last week. The rules to crafting your pitch is you cannot say your official title. Whatever title that the company has given you, you cannot say that title. Now, if you are a business owner and, you're a CEO, absolutely you could say your title. But if you have a title from a company, don't say it. Even if you have a big giant title, you're a vice president, do not use your title and do not say the name of your company. It's not important in your initial pitch. Now, people may ask where you work, and then at that point, it's a conversation. But in your pitch, you are not to say your title, and you are not to say the name of the company that you work for, because it's about you. The third rule is it has to be clear and concise. The unique value that you add, the WIFM, the what's in it for me. So the listener should automatically know and start to think about, oh, that's what's in it for me. I might need to want to talk to this person. I need to engage further. And the fourth rule is your pitch 45 seconds or less. It can't be more than 45 seconds. If it is, you're talking too much, and you have to be able to time yourself to give it in 45 seconds. Remember, it's going to be a conversation, so you don't have to say it all in one shot. So let's look at a couple of pitches. The first pitch is for a sales manager, and it's a really good pitch. A sales manager says, in the competitive world of sales, even top performing teams can find themselves plateauing, missing targets and lacking motivation. By collaborating with me, we invigorate those sales giants, unlocking untapped potential and spearheading revenue growth. I empower sales managers to lead with confidence, ensuring their teams are prepared to exceed their goals and drive success. Who do you know within your organization or network that's ready to take their sales team from stagnation to market leaders? So that is the sales ear pitch for a sales manager. Let's break that down. Let's break the pitch down. So here's the pitch. What's the problem? What problem does she solve? She reinvigorates sales giants. I love this pitch for a few reasons. And one of the reasons is because she never says that anything's wrong. She basically says even the top performing teams can find themselves plateauing. So she's not saying your people aren't selling and you need to come talk to me. I need to help you. She's saying you have some of the best already, but even the best find themselves in a plateau from time to time. And that's where I come in. So the what's in it for me, those end results are spearheading revenue growth, helping managers lead with confidence, and helping them exceed their goals. Okay? The bold request is, who do you know that's ready to take their team forward? The listener's choice is there someone in your organization or your network? So again, she doesn't ask, do you need it? But she leaves it open so that the person can say, you know what? I need that. My team needs that. So that's the listener's choice. Let's look at a social media strategist. In the ever-evolving digital landscape, businesses can struggle to cut through the noise and make a meaningful impact online. That's where I come in. I empower brands to craft compelling narratives that resonate, drive engagement, and turn followers into loyal fans. By working with me, brands unlock the full potential of their social media channels, achieving unprecedented growth and visibility. Who do you know who's ready to elevate their brand's voice online and reach new heights in audience connection and interaction, right? Great pitch. You know exactly the problem that she solves, turning followers, just regular followers, into loyal fans, right? And who do you know? Who's ready to elevate their brand? Right? Really good social media strategist pitch. Here's one for a photographer. She says, I capture the essence of life's most special moments with passion. I empower others to tell unforgettable stories through emotion and beauty, all seen through my lens. From intimate family gatherings to grand corporate events, imagine your story not just being seen, but being told with lasting impact. Who do you know that values capturing memories in a way that resonates for a lifetime? Really good pitch for a photographer. Here is a customer service professional, and this is a really good one as well. In the competitive telecom industry, customers are often made to feel like they're talking to a machine. With common issues such as service disruptions and billing concerns, customers demand swift and effective support. I bring a human touch to every interaction, delivering exceptional support that exceeds expectations. My approach enhances client loyalty and reduces churn, setting a standard for superior customer experiences. Who do you know that could benefit from a superior customer service professional who can create a remarkable experience for every subscriber, making them not only loyal customers, but raving fans? That's pretty good. That's a customer service professional in the telecom space. I love this one. Let's look at a notary. So this is a new client for me, and she has a notary business. And so here's her pitch. In the thrilling world of real estate, securing accurate and timely documentation is your ticket to closing deals with ease. Imagine a process where you never have to worry about notarization requirements. I take the burden off of your shoulders by traveling to you and your clients to meet your needs, offering a convenient and flexible solution, streamlining the closing process, and providing peace of mind for everyone involved. Who in your network is ready to experience the transformation of a seasoned traveling notary, simplifying the final steps to real estate success? Okay. I love this one because it really does talk about what she does, and her goal is to take the stress off of the real estate team and their client who's trying to close the deal. So I really like that one. So where else can you use your pitch? I think you're starting to see that the pitches, some of them are a little longer than others, some of them are short. And so the best places that you'll find that you're able to use your pitch, and sometimes it'll be longer, whole 45 seconds. Sometimes it'll be 20 seconds, right? Because again, it depends on your audience. It depends on where you are. So a great place to use your pitch is your LinkedIn profile, even in the summary or as the attention grabbing headline of your LinkedIn profile. In a job interview, the first question anyone ever asks in a job interview is, so tell me about yourself. And whenever I am prepping my clients for an interview, that's the first thing we do is get their pitch together, because what happens in an interview is every person starts the interview the same way. So tell me about yourself. And whether they've seen your resume or not, sometimes the hiring manager hasn't really looked at it. They just took the resumes from the recruiter and they're having the interviews. But your job as a candidate in an interview is you have one job, and that job is to get the interviewer off of the paper. Every hiring manager has a paper, and they've got questions that they're asking you, and they ask the same questions to every candidate or something similar. They have to, and it's legally, you have to. So your job as the interviewee is to get them off the paper so that you're having dialogue, you're having conversation. And I have seen no better way to do that than to start that conversation when the person says, so tell me about yourself. Go right into your 45-second pitch. They immediately put the paper down and start talking to you. And that's what you want. Those are the best interviews. And those are the interviews that you have the best chance of gaining an offer when you've taken them into a conversation and off of the paper. You can also use them with online webinars. During webinars and meetings and other virtual events, share your pitch to powerfully introduce yourself. This totally helps you stand out and make sure that people remember you. It's only 45 seconds or less, so it's not that long, drawn out thing. And even sometimes in those professional development seminars where they're asking everybody to go around and introduce yourself, usually a good host or trainer, instructor will have some questions. They'll have like 4 things that they want everybody to say. Figure out how to get your pitch in there. Figure out how to say who you are without your company, without your official company title. Okay? Sometimes you can't, and that's okay, but look for ways to introduce yourself using your pitch. And also on social media, when you're engaging on social media, your professional network, and that could be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I always say, especially when it comes to your professional life, Facebook is closed. And for most of us, we can put privacy measures around Facebook, but you cannot on Instagram. You cannot on TikTok. And I don't think you can on Twitter or X. So those are open, and those are the first places that recruiters go look for you after they've seen your resume and they talk to you on the phone or on Zoom. They go look at your social media. Trust me, they do. And they're looking to see what's on your Instagram, what's on your Twitter. So make sure that and even if you're saying friendly things and you're talking about the kids, make sure somewhere in your social media on those platforms that there's a line about you and what you do. Every now and then, make sure that you're posting something of a professional nature that speaks to what you do and how you get it done. So, a couple tips and tricks to maximize your pitch. Personalize it, tailor it to your narrative to fit the audience. Again, sometimes you're standing at a networking event and you've got 45 seconds. That's an easy pitch. But sometimes you don't have 45 seconds, or sometimes you want to shorten it just because of where you are. I've been at religious events, women's conferences of a Christian nature, and my pitch needs to be tweaked just a little bit so that I can engage there. Sometimes my pitch is, I'm Andrea, and I'm a high performance coach. I help leaders get seen, get known, and get paid. Who do you know that's looking to grow their career and get paid the salary they deserve? And it's that simple sometimes. Sometimes I go into the whole 45 seconds, but depending on where it is, and sometimes if I'm introducing myself on a webinar, I may leave the who do you know part out. Usually I don't, but there are some times that I may leave it out. If everybody's just kind of going around on Zoom and introducing themselves, I'll still say I'll say who I am, what I do. My tagline is always get seen, get known, get paid. And then I can kind of dig in when people say, oh, tell me more. The next is genuine passion. Let your enthusiasm shine through for what you do. A passionate delivery is persuasive and it's infectious. One of the reasons why I shared my story last week about the first time I really knew that this worked. And it really wasn't because I had this great pitch, because it wasn't that great back then. I was still tweaking it and it was getting good, but it really was my passionate delivery. And I delivered it every single time because I do love what I do, and it's easy to talk about. The next is body language. Your nonverbal cues are just as important as the words you say. Right. Maintain eye contact with the person that you're talking to. Use hand gestures and adopt an open posture. And so what that really means is don't stand with your arms folded, leaning against the wall or the table. Open your arms. Whenever you open your arms, what that says to the other person is welcome, come on in, talk to me. And it says that automatically when you're talking to somebody. So open your arms, use your hands to talk and really engage. That is your body language and your nonverbal cues. Okay. So here's some frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions. What if I'm uncomfortable talking about myself? This is why we start with your value, the value that you add, and the promise. We start with those end results. I want you to think of your pitch as a story that you're telling rather than talking about yourself. So instead of thinking about it from the space of, oh, I got to talk about myself, think about it from the lens of, I've got to tell a story. And it's just like telling anybody else's story, except it's yours. So you should be better at it. Most of us are not. But when you think about it from that lens of sharing a story, it stops being about you and you don't feel that anxiety of talking about yourself. Okay? How do I identify the unique problem I solve? Reflect on feedback that you've received. This is a great time to pull out your old performance reviews, pull out the last 3, and look at what your boss and everyone else says that you do well. Also, part of our brand strategy that we did a couple months ago, you got information and feedback from your 5 friends, and they told you exactly what problems you solved, what they enjoy most about working with you, and you found your unique superpower. If you didn't, go back into the platform and do that assignment. Ask 5 people what they value about you, the value that you add to the team, what they like most about you. Think about what people come to you for. That's how you get to the bottom of the unique problem that you solve. What if my pitch doesn't seem to resonate? What if it's just not landing? And that's the time it takes time. And I'll be honest, you're not going to get it on the first try. The first time you say it, it's going to feel weird. It won't sound weird to the person because they've never heard anything like this. You will automatically have a leg up on everybody else in that room because most people don't do this. And so it'll sound weird to you, but it won't sound weird to the people who hear it. But if you're finding that it doesn't land, consider tweaking it and highlighting different aspects of your experience. I had taught this to a group of leaders, and one guy in the room was an accountant. And I don't know, he was like a data scientist or something, but it was in the financial space. And I had no clue what he was saying. He was using 15 different jargons with letters and EPTs. And I was like, okay, unless you're in a room full of people who do what you do, nobody's going to know what that is. And I was like, it was like the whole, wah, wah, wah with all the stuff in the bubble. I had no clue. So make sure that if it's not landing, it means it's not clear. You also can adjust your tone and the pacing. A lot of us need to slow it down. I talk really fast, especially when I'm excited. When I'm excited, I go a mile a minute. But I've learned to add that to my pitch. If I find that I'm talking, a little fast and trying to get it all out, then I say, you know what? I love what I do. And when I get excited, I talk really fast. So let me slow down. And I'll just use it. And they go, oh, you really love what you do. And I use it to my advantage because it's something that I know is there and I might have to remind myself of. And I don't get it right all the time. So if you're not landing, and the other thing is, your pitch ain't for everybody. It's just not. You are not for everybody. Some people are just not your tribe. And that's okay. But they heard it and they might have somebody in their tribe that is for you. That's all you're after. Some people you will not have this long engagement with, but you wouldn't even if you use the old standard elevator pitch. You still would not engage with them because they're not your people, and that's okay. The last question is, how often should I update my pitch? Regular updates are essential because what happens is things happen in your life, things happen in your career. And as things change in your career, your pitch should get bigger and it should get better, not longer, still 45 seconds, but it should get bigger and fuller and more robust. And it should really speak to you. The more you learn to talk about yourself and what you love, the better your pitch becomes. So you should look at it. I often say every 6 months, you need to look at your pitch. If you are if you've gotten a new degree, you've gotten a new job, a new title at work, now it's time to update that pitch because you've changed, you've grown. And so your pitch should not be the same pitch that you've had for the last 5 years. It should get bigger and meatier, and it should speak more about who you are and what you've accomplished. So those are the top frequently asked questions. Again, your goal is to be authentic, to be yourself. You should not sound like anybody else in that room. And this takes a little bit of practice, but I promise you, once you get it, this is a game changer. It's a game changer in an interview. It's a game changer in any networking room, any room that you have to introduce yourself. This is how you do it. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and kind of take some questions and see what's going on with everybody. How's everybody doing? Any questions that we have? Okay. Any questions? Cool. So I'm surprised that nobody wanted to come on live and do their pitch. I get it, but people sent me notes saying, hey, could you look at my pitch? I really like it, but that's okay. So again, we're all learning each other, and it's a good time now is a great time for you to put your pitch together. And the reason is it's holiday season. And what happens in most companies during holiday season is there's a holiday party. There's a networking event for all of the industry organizations where they have a holiday party. And whether that's virtual or in person, this is the perfect time to use your pitch. Also, a lot of teams are having virtual events to end the year strong or right before the holidays. Still a good time. And even in settings where I was with a group of folks and they were doing like a holiday party kind of thing. But what they did was they paired up people on Zoom in groups of 4 and said, hey, talk amongst yourselves, get to know each other. This is the perfect way to introduce yourself. And even you might even say, hey, I just learned this new thing called the air pitch, and it's all about introducing yourself. Do you mind if I try it out? You guys give me a little feedback? And that's still a great way virtually to talk to each other and let them hear your pitch and not sound like you're doing something weird or you're sounding like a used car salesman. And then when they say, wow, that's really good, how'd you do that? You make sure you send them to the Air Tribe so they can learn it the right way. So I hope that you will share your pitches inside the Facebook group. And I'm going to put some of these up probably this week as well, so that when we're starting to get those holiday parties and year-end parties, we start to see some of the pitches and you start to really think about, oh, this is where I can use my pitch. So this is the end of our networking series. So we've had great coaches training us for the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, and we've had a great time talking about networking. Coach Valencia Frazier, Coach Tima Jones talked to us about the power of networking, the power of authentic networking. And so this just the end to the bookend to our networking series on how to actually have any conversation or start to introduce yourself. So I don't want to hear anybody telling their title or the company that they work for inside of a networking event. So tell me how it goes. Make sure as you're using it and tweaking it, and if it goes well, if it doesn't go well, I know it'll go well, because the only option is, hi, my name's Andrea and I'm an HR director for ABC Media. Right. No, but that's not a real pitch. And that's just who you are, your title, and where you work. So it has to be better than that. Share with me in the tribe inside the Facebook group when you use it. Tell us how it went and what reactions did you get. Share it in an interview. If you got an interview coming up, this is your first place. If you ever need any assistance, reach out. Any of our coaches, myself, Coach Valencia, Coach Tima, we will all be happy to help. So if you need something, this is the place to get it. The other thing is, this is our last live for Monday this year. For the next month, starting next week, we're going to do a book club on Wednesdays. I'm going to post a Zoom meeting, a Zoom link for everybody inside the tribe. I'll also put it in the Facebook group. And we're going to walk through the book, The Gift of Rejection by Nona Jones. I think December is a good time for us to look at rejection. Sometimes it's hard. The holidays are hard for folks. And as women, I think rejection is different, right? We get rejected in so many different ways for just being us. So I think it's a good lesson for us to kind of unpack. The book is not that long. It's available on Amazon. I will post a link. I'm going to give away a few copies. So if you'd like to be entered into the drawing to receive a free copy, go inside the Mighty Tribe and RSVP. And every day for a couple days, I'm going to pick some winners. And if you RSVP for the event, again, it's free. So if you RSVP, you'll be entered to win a prize, which is a book. And that book will be either a hard copy, a Kindle, or an Audible. It'll be your choice which one that you want. So I'm going to give away about 5 of them. So go ahead and RSVP if you want to hang out on Wednesdays. And it's only going to be for 3 weeks. So we're going to hit this book hard and we're going to go at it. We're going to be on a Zoom. So we get to see each other. I'm going to open it up to another coaching tribe that I have as well, all women. So I think it'll be good for us to kind of hang out and go through the gift of rejection. The other thing is starting in January, we're going to open up a new program, which is our signature program that's called Principles of Promotion. And it's a coaching program that we put together a couple years ago. And it does really, really well. And I've done it inside of a few companies. And I want to bring it inside the tribe. So you'll see more about that. It will be a paid event, but it will be a very reasonable paid event because I want everybody to think about yourself and how to develop yourself better in 2025. 2025 is going to be your best year and the start of your best years to come. So be on the lookout for that coming in January. So I hope that you've enjoyed the networking series, had a good time. If you missed anything, the links are inside the network and also on our YouTube page, which is called the Air Tribe as well. So have a great one. I'll see you soon.